if you're feeling a little bit nervous about the market, I can assure you one thing that has no downside, and that is get into action.
Mm.
Take in action. Even if that action doesn't work, move. Make your move and then make adjustments, and you will shift from certainty or uncertainty back to certainty. Now, I'm gonna go way back to a conversation you had maybe 5 minutes ago, because I cannot let this go.
Okay.
You said we started talking about quality conversations,
Mm-hmm.
and you talked about the buyer that said they were a 2. And this was an example of quality conversations. I want everyone to take note of this. The first thing Michael did is he asked another question.
Mm.
So we're like, he's describing to us, this is what a quality conversation looks like. And a lot of us probably leaning in is like, what's he going to say? And the reality is, it wasn't what he said, it's what he asked. How important are questions in the concept and the conversation around quality conversations?
Oh, you're going to get so much farther in life with brilliant questions than you are with brilliant answers.
Mm.
And that's the truth, right? The quality of your life is really determined by the quality of your questions. I believe that. I mean, like one of the questions that we should all be asking is, how do I make this the biggest win for you? You know, when you're getting into a transaction with a buyer or a seller or an investor, or you're even meeting with a networking partner, right? Or a sponsor for your event, it's how do I make this event the biggest win for you? When you're having a Zoom meeting, how do I make this Zoom the biggest win for you? And when you're working with a buyer and seller, how do I make this the biggest, how do I make this move the biggest win for you? That's not a powerful answer. That's a powerful question, right? And here's what's beautiful about that. When you get the answer, you can act accordingly, right? Is it possible? If a seller says, I'd like you to sell my house in 2 days for $20,000 over asking, you now have a conversation around that, right? Which is, all right, 2 days, 20,000 over asking. Then instead of 500, we need to probably price you at 450 and see if we can get 480, right? So I think the big thing is I always want to know what their expectations are before I start spewing from the mouth, right? Because if you start talking, you're going to start getting into trouble because you actually don't know if that's what they want. How do you know what they want? How do you find out what they want? You want certainty? Find out what they want. And then you can be certain that you're approaching that or helping them get to that because they told you so. And if they change later on, you can go, look at my notes right here. It says, how do I make this the biggest win for you? And you said, hey, if I could get this thing under contract within 60 days and be at my new house in 90 days, everything would be good. And you're sitting there at 45 days and you got an offer, right? You can have that conversation that this helps you achieve that goal of being, sold in 60. So I think it's one of those where, I mean, everything's about the question. I mean, I do far more around questions than I do, snappy answers or super scripts of answers. I truly believe the best scripts are questions.